Welcome again, everyone. Jerry's Old Guy Review. And you saw the thumbnail, you read the title. And here it is. Now, I've been having a hard time with this because I wanted to thoroughly test it, have some impressions before, I detailed it up, got it all ready, and, I just keep bringing it out, and I just keep driving it. So long story short, it blows me away that I have a lot of people on the channel asking to see trucks that I currently have. This is going to be the first review on a truck that a lot of you said I needed to check out. And for those of you that don't know what it is the Fms Fcx10. Fully licensed, 70s era K5 Blazer. Now, I was a Chevy guy in my youth. Well, up until 2015. So, I'm always excited about a Chevy. And this one, whilst generally I do not, if I'm getting a truck, I do not listen to what other people say. Well, I wasn't planning to get this truck, so I listened to what a lot of people said. I watched a lot of videos on it. I'm going to have some thoughts. And as you know, if you've watched this channel longer than a minute, I am not a doodad guy. And there is a reason for that. Doodads are troublesome. Doodads require extra maintenance, extra adjustment. Well, sometimes. Now, say you get a doodad truck like the Phoenix with the VS410 or the VS twin transmission. It is direct servo controlled. There are no cables, there's no guides. You connect the servo arm to the linkage, use the trims on the radio, bada bing. Now, I have heard a lot of comparisons to this truck to Traxxas's TRX4. We'll get to that later. Right now, let's go over just a quick little, the spec sheet that we'd see on the window if we rolled into the dealership. 21 turn 550 motor, brushed, 2-speed transmission, magnetic light kit, a 2-in-1 receiver, an 11-channel radio. Now there's actually 4 spots open on the receiver still. Something that's weird, and it must have to do something with a light kit, is it comes with an extension for your XT60 plug that has a receiver, or not a receiver, a resistor in it. We must have to break the voltage down for this 2-in-1 receiver, or is there some kind of interference? Are we going back to the old days of electronics? Yeah, I don't know. It's got an adjustable front-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive dig. Now, the joy of me being an automotive guy who just happens to like little trucks on top of big trucks, everybody seems to be complaining about the fact that it has front-wheel drive over rear-wheel drive. And that's simple science. It's easier to pull yourself over something than it is to push yourself over something. Rear wheel drive pushes you forward. Front wheel drive pulls you forward. So if you're climbing and your rear axle brakes, same concept with dig, which is funny that everyone loves dig, but everyone who loves dig is complaining about front wheel drive. You lock the rear end, drag yourself forward. Front wheel drive, the rear end brakes, you can still keep dragging yourself forward. More efficient, more likely you're going to get over that obstacle than if you're trying to push yourself over it. Not as much fun if you want to throw it in two-wheel drive and hit the 2-speed, but there you go. Locking diffs, which, people make this comparison again. Guess what? Traxxas did not invent locking digs or locking differentials. Actually, the first truck I saw them on was a Venom Creeper that came out long before the TRX4. I actually have two in a project, one as a vehicle that I never bought the remote locking cables for it. Bet you money I could go buy a TRX4 and they'd probably work just fine. Wonder where they got that idea from, Traxxas. Let me see, what do we have? Something that is weird, FMS. So, for those of us with the Atlas actually has a 5-link setup on it. It has 4-link setup with a pitman arm. This truck does not have a pitman arm, has a 4-link setup, but meanwhile it appears, looking at the front axle, that you could probably, FMS is probably down the road. Actually, while I'm sitting here looking at things and talking to you, let me flip to the extra section. And just in case you didn't know, if you get one of these trucks, you can aftermarket, or you can not aftermarket, but from FMS, you can order up all metal bumpers, front and rear, and they just announced they're going to release a full interior for it, which I think I may have to get, because it kind of appears that the driver that's in it is reminiscent of Tamiya, with the big-headed guys. He kind of looks, he might be proper scale. I'm just going by their website and their little video they make. But I thought it was pretty funny looking. He looks pretty cool in there. I might have to get that. Window anti-riot net. I might have to see what that is. Looking in the old, sometimes the books come in handy. So, let me see. So it's got a 12-tooth pinion gear with this 21-turn motor. I don't see the main gear set. Gear set for transmission box. Doesn't tell you how many numbers, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be a multi-stage collection here, because I've been tasked by some of you to thoroughly review this truck and to enjoy it, which I have to a point. So I don't know any of the rest of you that have the FCXW, or the FCX10. Wow, where did I go with the W? It's already fiddly. So the way it's sitting right now on this incline, not a huge issue. Steeper inclines, I noticed, it appears that the some of the settings appear to kind of unset themselves. So if I've got the lock diffs going, okay, I was just seeing, this isn't, guys are getting a little sneak peek. This is a new obstacle I'm building. We're going to actually get to another side of it. So these off-brand super swampers, which again are not what I would call a good rock crawling tire. And I forget, let me whip this over here real quick, because I hear it. I remember they had a goofy name. Oh, the Super Marsher. That sounds like a pretty good name to come up with for your pseudo super swampers that, again, you know, hails back to Red Cat. You know, I don't know if I would have went with a super swamper, but this truck is claimed by many as just a trail truck. Well, we all know that sometimes you can take a trail truck, throw a different set of tires on it, and it's a whole nother animal. Another comparison with Traxxas is that well, no, I guess this isn't really a comparison with Traxxas. This is the tires. Oh, I heard the gear a little bit in the drivetrain. Hear it? That incline has popped it out of the rear diffs. I think so. I still have to, I haven't, because I wanted to get this video of the truck with some driving under the wheels and non-detail. Yeah, I don't want to grind up a gear. But this is straight out of the box. Obviously, we are not adjusted with these lockers. And I'm going to tell you, looking at the lockers, I don't, or I should say, yeah, I can't say I totally don't trust them, but they are a bit, yeah, I just need to stop doing that. They seem a bit thin. And I don't know how they're going to hold up in the long run, but it's got bigger tires than the TRX4. This controller compared to, say, this 2-in-1. Oh, see, we must have got back in. This compared to the controller that comes with, you know, now see, that wasn't bad at all. That was a nice slow creep. And except for that little bit of gear grinding. Okay, I don't want to show the whole thing. Let's go over here. This is some untapped just ugly rocks. Woo-hoo-yo-ho-ya. A little closer than I wanted. Now, I don't care who you are. That, if your FMS only experiences with the Michigan or the Atlas, this little guy here This is night and day. And another big point that everyone makes, oh, it's $100 cheaper. Well, $100, you get a functioning light kit. You get a, well, pretty nice detailed body. I am not going to say it is perfect, because for some reason, to me, the pickup truck is not the way to go with it. It just seems to look better with the topper on it, because the roof line is screwy. Now the door and the mirror, or the door and the side window, while looking weird, is technically correct. The lineup is good. But, yeah, it's a little screwy. So I did some body lines, and there you go. The top door body line, I have to redo the door body lines because they're so weak in a line. And they're weird. So the roof is scrunched together. More triangular than it should be. It's not as beefy. So on the front on look, it's a little bit silly. But right here, it is officially licensed. So I'm almost thinking GM must send them plans or how they want to see it. Because what this truck was lacking was center caps. And I put some center caps on there because I happen to have some off of the TRX4. Because I have a set of the retro wheels. And, you know, they're no different than the retro wheels in our RC four-wheel drive. So, what else do we have? Oh, so $100 cheaper. You get the light kit. You get the locking differentials, the 2-speed transmission, the forward or front drive, 4-wheel drive dig. You get an 11-channel radio, which is a FlySky. I was trying to see if they had, because some of these ones are badged. But it's an 11-channel FlySky. Very adjustable. You have got, I guess you have to go in, I have to read the instructions to go in to do the trims for all the 4-channeled radios or 4-channeled servos. You've got an adjustable drag brake. I don't know how many times I have been crawling and the particular area was a little bit steeper and I had the drag brake set to 100, so I had to whip the truck back in, pop the top off, put the drag brake to 50 so I wasn't constantly flipping over. I can do that right on the radio. Channel 11, boom. Tones back the drag brake. And this radio is full of knobs, which is my favorite. You got some dip switches. You've got, wow, there's just buttons everywhere. It's very easy for the lights. You know, you've got, the light kit's weird. You know, we don't need those turn signals. But, you know, being able to flip lights on and off from the radio, that's just cool. And I'm going to figure out how to do that so I can just wire up all the lights. I already think I know. I just have to see it. Oh, but we're getting off. What else do we get for our $100? Do extra. Oh, this isn't really on the money aspect, but this is, what's weird is it looks like you could mount a servo winch on the front, but I'm also looking at it, and a lot of people complain because it's a servo on axle. Well, it looks like the geometry would just be to flip the servo around, and then you'd have a servo on chassis. And it looks like it looks like it would be very easy. I almost think I'm going to try it because then when you look at the distances, it doesn't look like it's going to be all that difficult for which when you do servo and axle, you generally want that extra power. See, I think that thing's screwing up again. Nope. Or did I turn them off? Nope. You want that extra juice that it gives you by having that servo right there driving the steering. But I'm looking at it. Yeah, see, now because of the elevation change, that rear locker. But ooh, even without it, yeah, see, it's off again. Yeah, I got to get in there and figure that out. If I just got to tighten the cable or what's going on. It acts like it moves. It's pretty stiff cables. I think are way stiffer than the TRX4s are. But the next video is going to be, we are going to have the TRX4 and this truck on the bench together. We're going to look at them side by side. I'm going to tell you right now, the axles are completely different. There's actually more clearance on this truck than there is on a TRX4 with a smaller portal axles. So this has just been a good old head scratcher one for me because you guys have told me that I would like getting this truck. Now, so far, I've had it out. What have I had it now? Oh, I've had it 2 weeks, and I've had it out both weekends, and this thing has been phenomenal. Let's try it without any doodads, which is ridiculous. I mean, okay, let's try just front. Now, see, you would think that if we use the push-pull philosophy, that would do something, but it doesn't. But we're going to compare them on the bench. By the time we compare them on the bench, now I will have had time to pop open the diffs. Oh, look, everything's working now. Oh, no, now we're done again. Stopped. Oh, there we go. It's working again. I will have tore the differentials apart. I will have torn the axles, or the two-speed apart. I'm going to see how lubed up everything is. See if I've gotten any damage now from playing around with it today. Pardon me. Wrong tube. And then this third video is going to be this against the TRX4. All the hype, all the listening, I managed to find the exact same wheels and tires. Not the exact same wheels, but the same tires. I've already put them on my original TRX4 with all the doodads, since my big lifted up one doesn't have the doodad. So let me know, these high countries or whatever they're calling them from Traxxas, do those come with all the doodads, the two-speed and the diffs? I built mine 2 years before they came out with one. Traxxas, where's my licensing money? I guess I could sue, huh? And on a final note, to everybody saying that the FCX10 is just a knockoff of Traxxas, it's a Traxxas clone, with all the word on the street, with everybody buying these trucks right now, where's Traxxas in their lawsuits? if they have not looked at this truck and couldn't find anything to sue about, we know they've got lawyers. And I will talk to you on the next one.